Hello students, again in continuation to the chapter synthetic fibers and plastics, we have discussed the topics like synthetic fibers, the activities, the formation of fiber etc. in our previous classes. In this class I am taking the topic plastics. This word, you are very much familiar with this word. We will be discussing this word in this class. So what are plastics? The word plastic comes from Greek word plastikos, which means to form. Plastic is made from petroleum and natural gas. They can be easily molded into any shape and size. Plastic is also defined as a material that can be made soft on being heated and molded in any shape and then hardened after cooling. This property is known as plasticity. Plastics are polymers made up of a very large number of small monomers joined end to end to form long chains. Some of the plastic has linear arrangement while some has cross-linked. As we have discussed in our earlier class, the types of polymers based on their structure. So, plastic is also a polymer which can be of the linear arrangement or of the cross-linked arrangement. What are the properties of plastics? These are lightweight, they are non-reactive, that means they do not get rusted like iron. It is easy to handle them, they are strong and durable. They are inert to chemicals. For example, Teflon is used for making non-stick cookware. They are poor conductors of heat and electricity. That means they do not conduct heat and electricity. So these are some properties of plastics. What are the types of plastic? Basically, there are two types of plastics. One is thermoplastic and the other is thermosetting plastic. Thermoplastics. So what are thermoplastics? Thermoplastic is a plastic which gets deformed easily on heating and can be bent easily. They can be molded easily into different shapes again and again. For example, polythene, polytetrafluoroethylene in short form, which is also known as PTFE. Polystyrene and PVC. PVC means polyvinyl chloride. So these are used for manufacturing toys, combs, car grills and various types of containers. These are known as thermoplastics because when they are heated, they get deformed very easily and they can be bent easily and they can be molded again and again into different shapes. But there are some plastics which when molded once cannot be softened again by heating. They are known as thermosetting plastics. So these are the plastics which when molded once cannot be softened by heating again and again. These are called thermosetting plastics. For example, bakelite and melamine. Bakelite is used for making electrical switches. The switches that you see at your homes are made up of bakelite, and handles of various utensils etc. These are made up of bakelite because it is a poor conductor of heat and electricity. Melamine is used for making floor tiles, kitchenware etc. So melamine जो है that is used for making the floor tiles and kitchenware. These type of plastics are quite strong and they do not conduct heat and electricity. That's why they are used for these purposes. Difference between thermosetting plastic and thermoplastic. Thermoplastic is that plastic which can be melted repeatedly by heating, hardened on cooling and can be molded again and again into different shapes. But thermosetting plastics are those plastics which when molded into a particular shape does not become soft on heating and cannot be molded a second time. Thermoplastics become soft on heating. Thermosetting plastics do not become soft on heating. Thermoplastics are lesser tough as compared to thermosetting plastics. Thermosetting plastics are more tough and rigid. Thermoplastics are less resistant to high temperatures, and thermosetting plastics are more resistant to high temperatures. Thermoplastics can be recycled, but thermosetting plastics cannot be recycled. The examples of thermoplastics are polythene and PVC, and the examples of thermosetting plastics are like Bakelite and melamine, Formica, etc. So these are the differences between thermoplastics and thermosetting plastics. Some uses of plastic in various fields. Plastics find extensive use in healthcare industry. These are used for the packaging of tablets, threads used for stitching wounds, syringes, doctors' gloves, and a number of medical instruments. So these are the uses of plastic in healthcare industry. Second is, some plastic cookware is used in microwave ovens for cooking food without affecting the plastic vessel. Teflon is a special plastic on which oil and water do not stick. That's why it is used for making non-stick cookwares non-stick coating on cookwares. Fireproof plastic. Synthetic fiber catches fire easily. The uniforms of firemen have coating of melamine plastic to make them flame resistant. But there is a plastic which is known as melamine, which is resistant to fire. So the uniforms of firemen have coating of melamine plastic to make them flame resistant. Plastics are used for making disposable cups and packaging material for computers, cell phones, televisions, refrigerators, etc. For example, thermocol. These are poor conductors of heat and electricity. For example, Bakelite is used for making electrical switches, handles of various utensils, etc. And melamine is used for making floor tiles, kitchenware, etc. Polystyrene is a good thermal insulator. It is filled in the hollow walls of refrigerator, air coolers, and thermos flask. It is also used for making ice box. Plastics are insoluble in water. They are also cheaper and available in different shapes and colors. So these are the uses of plastics in the various fields. But improper disposal of plastics poses a number of problems. For example, littering of plastics in open spaces creates unhygienic conditions as it acts as a breeding ground for insects and mosquitoes. Second is, plastics do not undergo degradation as they are non-biodegradable. What do you mean by non-biodegradable? That means they do not get broken down easily into simple harmless substances through natural processes such as action of bacteria. So they are non-biodegradable. They stay in the soil for many years, which affects the soil fertility and degrades the soil quality. When plastic artifacts enter the drainage and sewerage system, they block the pipes and the drains, causing waterlogging. The improperly disposed of food bags when eaten by animals cause stomach and intestine related disease, which even lead to suffocation and death. Plastic items find their way to the river and other water bodies, which are then swallowed by fish, seabirds, and other marine species, thus leading to suffocation and death. The waste from the plastic manufacturing industry is thrown directly into the water bodies, thus affecting the chemical property of water, causing hazards on a very large scale. And when plastic wastes are burnt, they do not get completely burnt and produce toxic gases and cause air pollution. So these are the disadvantages which are actually caused by the improper disposal of plastics. How can we create a solution to the problems created by plastic? We should follow the 4R principle. 4R means recycle, reuse, reduce, and recover. So this is the 4R cycle, which means 1R is reduce, reuse, recycle and recover. We will discuss one by one. First is reduce. Reduce is to limit the amount of waste you create in the first place. This includes buying products with less packaging. Nowadays you must have seen that people carry the jute bags or the cotton bags to carry the grocery items or the other household things. So that means it is helping them to reduce the use of plastics, use of polythene, which is a kind of plastic. Reuse means to use something again that you would normally throw away. For example, a glass jar for food or plastic bag for bin liners. So we should reuse the products, especially the plastic products, again and again. Recycle means the product goes through a mechanical process to change its form. This is only recommended when reducing and reusing are not possible. Recover means is to convert waste into resources such as electricity, heat, compost and fuel through thermal and biological means. Resource recovery occurs after reduce, reuse and recycle have been attempted. So we should follow this 4R principle, and it can help us to get a solution to the problem created by the plastics. With this topic, we come to an end of this chapter. We will discuss some additional knowledge or we will take some another topics in our next class. Thank you, students.